Hi and welcome to Tutorial M, Magnificent Masterpieces, which we're looking at some great creations in literature, art, and otherwise, and I bid you welcome. Quick little literature quiz. Who wrote the classic novel The Catcher in the Rye? Great novel. J.D. Salinger. Winston Smith is the protagonist or main character of which George Orwell novel? And the title of this novel is A Year, 1984. In The Great Gatsby, what is located at the end of Daisy Buchanan's dock? It's a green something. A green what? A green light. What do George Eliot, Georges Sand, and Acton Bell all have in common? Well, it looks like they are men, but they are in fact women, writing under pen names. What genre of book does Danielle Steele primarily write? Romance? What's the main character and narrator called in Daphne du Maurier's Rebecca? And I might be wrong, but I think we never told her name. How many books are there in the Hunger Games series of novels? I'm not sure. I think it's 3. Which book by Mary Shelley is often regarded as the first science fiction novel? Mary Shelley is most well known for Frankenstein. What kind of file is somebody who loves to read regularly? A lover of books is a bibliophile. And what's the most printed book of all time? It's surely the Bible. And yeah, I checked that Bible one now, but I was wrong with the Hunger Games. There's apparently 5 books in that series. I think I've read 3 of them. Complete the quotations. So many books, so little what? So little time. I've always imagined that paradise will be a kind of I think it's library. Groucho Marx. I find television very educating. Every time somebody turns on the TV, I go into the other room and read a book. Charles Dickens. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Shakespeare. If music be the food of love, play on. Art quiz. Who painted the Mona Lisa? Da Vinci? Leonardo da Vinci? Who painted The Starry Night? Van Gogh. Who painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel? Michelangelo. In which museum is the Mona Lisa displayed? The Louvre. Who painted The Persistence of Memory featuring melting clocks? Salvador Dali. And who painted The Birth of Venus? Such a lovely painting. Botticelli. I hope I can spell his name right. I hope my spelling of Botticelli is correct. And that was our little art quiz. Back to the sentence. In English, word order creates meaning. The normal word order in English is subject, verb, object. The horse, subject, ate the verb, the sugar, object. What did the horse eat? There are 2 types of objects. The direct object. The action of the verb directly affects a person or thing. Picasso eats paella. Indirect object, the person or thing for whom the action of the verb and its object are done. The indirect object always comes between the verb and the direct object. He gave a painting to the artist, so the artist is the indirect object. We've done quite a few of these misrelated participles. Sitting in the room, Picasso's thoughts turn to. It sounds like who's sitting in the room? Picasso's thoughts. So we've got to change this and make it Picasso himself. Picasso thought of his new painting. Now it's clear who's sitting in the room. It was Picasso. Reaching the Sistine Chapel, the roads were narrow. It sounds like the roads were reaching the Sistine Chapel, and it doesn't tell us who was. So we can make it anyone. I'm going to make it Fred. Fred noticed that the roads were narrow. Standing on Michelangelo's balcony, the sunset was very beautiful. Who was standing on Michelangelo's balcony? Lisa. Lisa noticed that the sunset was very beautiful. Listening to Da Vinci's story, his voice made him sleepy. Who was listening to Da Vinci's story? Fred found that his voice made him sleepy. Part of me wants to change it to listening to his story. Fred found that Michelangelo's voice made him sleepy, or Da Vinci's. Complete the proverbs and idioms. Blood is hotter than what? Blood is thicker than water. Every cloud has a what? Every cloud has a silver lining. Every bad situation's got something good about it. It never rains, but it pours. Something that came in very suddenly, a bolt from the blue. Something is very boring, as dull as ditch water. As mad as a who, as mad as a hatter. A burnt child does what? A burnt child dreads the fire. And a chaotic influence or destructive force, a bull in a china shop. Some abbreviations. Am I right? This is Anno Domini. Yes, Anno Domini in the year of the Lord. We use it to mean the years following Christ. And of course, this one before Christ, the years before Christ's birth. Ante meridium, before noon, and post meridium, afternoon. AWOL, absent without leave. COD, cash on delivery. IOU, meaning I owe you money. LBW from cricket, leg before wicket. WC for toilet actually stands for water closet. Some foreign expressions. A la carte, by the page, by the card. Most restaurants today, you take your choice from what's on the menu. Now, a la carte as opposed to a set menu. A faux pas, a social blunder. Nay, to indicate a woman's maiden name. Debut. The first time something appears, her debut performance in New York. Au fait, meaning familiar with. Hors d'oeuvre, a starter. Verbatim, exactly. Her words were verbatim. They were quoted exactly as she spoke them. Deja vu, this feeling that I've been in this situation somewhere before. Words starting with M. Acting as an interim and temporary measure. It's makeshift, it's temporary only. A figure of speech in which a word or phrase is applied to an object or action to which it is not literally applicable. I guess it must be metaphor. extremely small, minute, spelled just like minute, but meaning very small, orderly or systematic in thought or behavior, methodical. He was really methodical about it. A collection of songs or other musical items performed as a continuous piece, a medley of songs. Some more M words. The state of being married to only one person at a time or being faithful to only one person at a time, monogamy. Mono, the prefix meaning one. A legal agreement by which a bank lends money at interest in exchange for taking title of the debtor's property on the condition that the conveyance of the title becomes void upon the payment of the debt, a mortgage. Causing or showing a fondness for causing trouble in a playful way, to be mischievous. I don't believe in pronouncing it mischievous, I say it's mischievous. Of only average quality, not very good, mediocre. His results were mediocre, they were just okay. Being exaggerated or over emotional, stop being so bloody melodramatic. And some more M words. Pleasingly smooth and musical to hear, mellifluous. I learned this word as meaning sweetly flowing like honey. Someone's voice, it's very smooth, is mellifluous, it's smooth as honey. Of a living human being, often in contrast to a divine being, subject to death, that person is mortal. They are subject to death, they are not immortal like the Greek gods. A traditional story, especially one concerning the early history of a people, or explaining a natural or social phenomenon, and typically involving supernatural beings or events, a myth. Subject to sudden or unpredictable changes of mood or mind, like the mercury in a thermometer goes up and down, his personality is mercurial, it's up and down. A person who takes pleasure in pain and suffering is a masochist, someone who enjoys pain, as opposed to a sadist. A mistaken use of a word in place of a similar sounding one, often amusing, like dance a flamingo instead of a flamenco. We did this in tutorial J, a malapropism. What's our writing note for the week? Original metaphors. Choose a central metaphor and extend it over a paragraph or scene. Keep layering the imagery. For example, time is a river, rushing, ruthless, scooping memories as it flows. Regrets drift like drifting leaves. I don't like the drift and drifting. This encourages cohesion and thematic richness. I'm going to change the drift to events float by to avoid that repetition of drifting. Or combine unrelated categories, emotion and architecture, memory and weather. For example, her laughter was scaffolding for my crumbling faith. This trick disrupts cliché and refreshes your figurative voice. Make up similes and metaphors of your own. Writing topics for the week. Life is short and art is long. All art is quite useless. Good taste, what a dreadful thing. Taste is the enemy of creativeness. Art, who comprehends it? With whom can one consult concerning this great goddess? Or if you like, that abstract picture. So one more time, life is short and art is long. All art is quite useless. Good taste. Taste is the enemy of creativeness. Art, who comprehends it? With whom can one consult concerning this great goddess or the picture? Vocabulary quiz. Adjective formed from face. What kind of features? Facial features. A written statement made under oath, an affidavit. An adjective formed from secret. He's so secretive. Not with a D. The leaves of a tree. Foliage. Greed, a fancy word for greed starting AV. Avarice, he's so avaricious. A fool, I think they want us to say a simpleton. And then a violent hurricane starting with TY, a typhoon. That brings us to the end of tutorial M. Please come back for tutorial N, noteworthy news. I appreciate that you joined me today. I'd appreciate to see you again in the next tutorial. And until then, I wish you well. Goodbye.